I'm gonna attempt to collect 30 million pounds of trash from this river all by myself. But there's a catch, because Mr. Beast and his boys and a butt ton of volunteers are gonna try and beat me to it by collecting 30 million pounds of trash from this beach. Now I know what you're thinking. Psh, Mark, 1 versus 1,000 hardly seems like a fair fight. And you'd be right, except for one minor detail I neglected to mention. I actually do have one other teammate, who just so happens to be a floating 50-ton trash-eating robot. You gotta play to your strengths, right? So with the trash picking competition officially underway, while Mr. Beast and his crew performed manual labor like a bunch of lame humans,
all the trash stuff is blowing on me.
All me and my autonomous robot had to do was wait. And we didn't have to wait long. I love the idea of Jimmy getting all sweaty on the beach, picking up trash the old-fashioned way, while I just let it all come to me. So Jimmy and his crew got off to an early lead, and I can confidently say that's thanks to their premature start and not their trash collection techniques.
Jimmy!
Yeah?
The ocean's putting more trash on the beach.
So their idea is to put these trash-eating robots on those worst offending rivers, and that will go a long way to fixing the problem at the source. The next day started out nice, but then rained hard for a few hours, which increased the trash in the river quite a bit. In fact, they told me after a heavy rain, all 6 dumpsters can get filled in a single day, which seemed just crazy to me. So when I asked where all the trash was coming from, we took a trip up the river, and before long, the source of the trash became pretty obvious. Anytime we saw a canal like this meant to carry rainwater to the river, and there were a lot of them, it would be filled with trash that washes down from the communities near the river. And even worse, you could see sometimes how people would throw trash off the side of a cliff down to the river as an improvised trash dump. And part of me felt really frustrated by this until we parked the boat and actually visited one of these communities. It became apparent pretty quickly the trash ends up in the river because there are no other options. You and I have the luxury of putting our trash in a bin and rolling it out to the curb, and then it's magically empty by the end of the day. In the developed cities in the Dominican Republic, this is of course how it also works. But in these remote poor communities, there are a lot of challenges that prevent this, such as just not being accessible by big trash trucks, which means they just don't have somewhere to put their waste, so whatever doesn't make it to the river just piles up in their own village. In the end, by the time I wrapped up my work at the Interceptor, we ended up making 2 trips with the dumpsters down the river so the waste could be properly disposed of. Even though I basically did no manual labor to make this happen, there's still like a sense of pride here for some reason. I don't know. We did it. So after getting the total weight recorded, all that was left to do now was to meet back up with Jimmy. Wow, this is a certified butt ton right here. How much did you get?
I got it right here. How much did you get?
It's on my paper. I'm not showing you. Spoiler alert. It's much, much less than 30 million pounds. Okay, so before we show you our papers here and reveal who won, man versus machine, if you're watching this video, we need your help to get this pile of trash to 30 million pounds. And buckle up, because the next 2 months are gonna be crazy. Now for context, 2 years ago, the internet demanded we start Team Trees. And not only did we band together and reach our goal of planting 20 million trees by 2020, but people are still planting on average 2,600 trees per day on teamtrees.org. So in order to actually get 30 million pounds of trash and plastic out of the freaking ocean, we're following up Team Trees with Team Seas. And we've spent the last 8 months working with the perfect nonprofit cleanup organizations for this goal. And even though it was difficult, they guaranteed us that for every single dollar we raise, there will be 1 less pound of plastic and trash in the ocean. And that's just bonkers.
That literally means that for every $1 donated, this much trash comes out of the ocean. And for $5, this much trash comes out of the ocean.
And we're gonna pull this off by not just tackling trash in the ocean, but cutting off the trash sources at the rivers and beaches too. So half the money we raise will go to Boyan's charity, the Ocean Cleanup, so they can just make a butt ton more of these trash-eating robots, and then they'll place them in that 1% of rivers that are the worst offenders by far. And then the other half of the money will go to Ocean Conservancy, and they'll focus on the beaches with tons of volunteer beach cleanups, and then of course actually going out to sea and cleaning up a bunch of trash there as well. And so we need your help, because 30 million less pounds of trash in the ocean really means we're trying to raise $30 million by the end of the year, in just 2 months.
Which is insanity, and exactly why we banded together the entire YouTube community, heck, all of social media, to help us hit our goal by the end of the year.
Go Team Seas!
Let's do this.
We're saving the oceans in 2 ways.
I don't know if you realize, we can do this.
I'm excited for Team Seas.
Oceans, good. Team Seas, good. Plastics, bad.
I personally we'll be kicking things off by removing 100,000 pounds from the ocean by donating $100,000. And YouTube Originals has stepped up, and they'll be matching the first $400,000 donated. But that's still way less than 30 million. If you're a working adult, consider how much trash you're willing to remove to send a message. And if you're a kid, talk to your parents about this. Get creative and do some chores to earn some money. Or maybe talk to your teacher and set up a class or even school fundraiser using the team feature on the website.
And then after that, retweet anything to do with Team C's. Like, share, watch 100 times every Team C's video. Support this campaign. We need you.
You can start by sharing this video and then just harass all your favorite creators. Make sure they're on board Team C's. With all the division in the world, this just feels like something we can all see eye to eye on. Like everyone agrees that trash and plastic don't belong in our beautiful oceans. And of course we know Team C's alone won't solve this issue, but it sends a strong message that young people are hungry and willing to go beyond just retweets to raise awareness. We can be a catalyst for positive change in this world. I am just so stoked we totally got this. How many pounds of trash is right here?
500,000.
You are a liar. How many pounds of trash is really here?
62,738 pounds of trash is right here.
Wow.
What about you? Oh, 37,000? Yo, we beat him.
I will say, my robot in the next 2 weeks, he'll do that. So if you want to fund more robots and more humans to solve this important problem, click the blue button, go to teamcs.org, donate right now.
Go donate.